Chelsea just beat Hull City 4-0 in the FA Cup. Yes, it's a weaker opponent. Yes, they should have won on quality alone. But that's not what interested me about this match, because even in low-resistance games, structure doesn't lie. And in this match, we saw three repeatable tactical principles from Rosenior's Chelsea: controlled build-up overloads, central superiority, and Rhys James as a potential destabilizer. This wasn't about Hull, this was about structure. Chelsea began in a 4-2 build-up, with Caicedo and Estavo as a double pivot. Initially, the Blues wanted to play through the center, but the Hull City press made them alter to their left side. This is when we saw Neto repeatedly dropping towards the left channel, creating a numerical advantage and condensing Hull's press to one side. And it was when Hull shifted across that the far side switch became available. This adaptation is a telltale sign that Chelsea weren't trying to escape pressure, but were instead inviting it in order to open up space in other areas. Once beyond the initial press, the Chelsea structure evolved from a back four to a back three. Although it was commonplace to see Estavo next to Caicedo in each phase of play, he would occasionally drop into the back line when Otto occupied a more advanced position. This allowed for the Blues to focus on creating their midfield diamond. With Caicedo playing between the whole forward and midfield lines, the two wingers stepping into the half spaces, the fullbacks playing just outside Hull's midfield, and Neto roaming centrally, made it difficult for Hull City to decide when to hold their position or when to apply pressure. The Hull midfield initially kept a 5-3-2 pressing shape, but it was flexible to allow for a third player to enter midfield. Even with that adjustment, Chelsea would still have four players for a central overload. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Every time Caicedo received the ball in midfield, this was a trigger for Rhys James to make a forward run. And regardless of whether or not James got on the ball, the Chelsea shape was still intact because James would then occupy a wide left wing position while Santos would step inside. However, in the second half, Rhys James' role was changed. Instead of making a forward run, he would position himself just outside of Hull's midfield, but between their midfield and defensive lines. This forced Hull's left back to step out of position. When this happened, space opened centrally and in behind for Delap to run into. In this way, James wasn't just adding numbers to midfield, but he was also a positional trigger on Hull's defense. But there's a risk. Hull looked to counter down James's side, especially in fast progression phases as most of their counterattacks progressed down the left flank. To address this, in the second half, Chelsea subtly improved their control. The goalkeeper became a third defender in build-up, allowing both fullbacks to push up higher, and the two pivots to position themselves behind Hull's first line of pressure. This gave Chelsea a deeper rest defense, with more vertical access and safer interior occupation, while also naturally being able to pin Hull back and deny their opportunities to counterattack. This also allowed Estavo to operate more freely between the lines, and Enzo to advance off the dribble once he was subbed in. Without the ball, Chelsea adjusted their defensive shape to funnel Hull into wider regions, with an emphasis on remaining vertically compact so as to not let Hull have the center. This match wasn't about Hull's weakness. It was about a structural consistency. We saw build-up overloads to manipulate the press, central diamonds to dominate possession, Rhys James as a positional destabilizer, and defensive fallback mechanisms. If these same patterns appear against strong opposition, that's when we know it's a system at play and not just player quality. And that's what makes this match worth analyzing. I hope you enjoyed this shorter style analysis. Chelsea recycled quite a few of their tactics from midweek against Leeds, and I wanted to touch on some of the trends I saw across both matches. But please let me know your thoughts. Did you notice anything from the match, and what have you noticed about Rosenior's Chelsea so far?